Murder charges are now filed against an Everett police officer. Prosecutors allege that the officer shot and killed a DUI suspect on purpose while on duty. King 5 North Bureau Chief Jake Wittenberg is live at the Snohomish County Courthouse where the officer made his first public appearance. Jake, a murder charge?
Right, no, yeah, we're learning that this is actually the first time, Dennis, in Snohomish County that a police officer has been charged criminally while in the line of duty, and we're finding out that the jury will be asked to decide on more than just a murder charge.
Our intention and our hope is that
11-year veteran officer Troy Meade finds himself on the other side of the law. At a hearing today, the stage was set for a jury trial to begin. Meade now faces 2 charges, manslaughter and second-degree murder.
The state's intent is that the jury be allowed to consider both charges.
You know, I think it's piling on, if you ask me.
Meade's defense attorney, David Allen, says the officer felt threatened and acted in self-defense when he pulled the trigger.
They're allowed to use deadly force under circumstances, and this was certainly an appropriate circumstance.
Meade was attempting to stop a drunk driver from exiting a South Everett parking lot in June of last year. Snohomish County investigators say the driver, 51-year-old Niles Meservey of Stanwood, was belligerent and attempting to plow his Corvette through a fence to get away. Officers demanded Meservey get out of the car, but when he continued moving, that's when investigators say Meade fired 8 shots into the Corvette. Meservey died with 7 bullet wounds to his upper body.
He was placed in a very dangerous situation. He was defending himself.
Fellow officers reported that before shots were fired, they heard Meade say, quote, "Time to end this. Enough is enough," something that Meade denies. Meservey's family was not in the courtroom today, but they have previously released this statement to King 5. While my family takes some measure of comfort in knowing this man will be held accountable for his actions, nothing will bring my father back to me and my family. Tonight, Meade remains on administrative leave. This jury trial is set here for the Snohomish County Courthouse on April 13th. Live in Everett, North Bureau Chief Jake Wittenberg, King 5 News.
Thank you, Jake.
We're learning tonight that an Everett police officer will likely be charged with murder.
The officer was already charged with manslaughter after opening fire on a DUI suspect in June. King 5 North Bureau Chief Jake Wittenberg is live in Everett to show us why new, more severe charges could be coming. Jake.
Well, Dennis, the graphic details of that night are laid out in these original charges, but we're now learning that prosecutors have plans to file second-degree murder charges against Officer Troy Meade this week. That means prosecutors believe that Meade shot at that driver with intentions to kill. According to investigators, 51-year-old Niles Meservey was drunk and attempting to drive outside this South Everett bar in June of last year. Officer Troy Meade said he felt threatened when Meservey's car lurched forward into this fence. When Meservey hit the gas, investigators say Officer Meade fired 8 shots, killing Meservey with 7 bullets to his upper body. Meade, an 11-year police veteran, was charged with manslaughter.
It shouldn't happen at all.
Shortly after the accident, witness Elizabeth Thorne spoke to King 5 and said the shooting didn't appear to be justified.
He was boxed in. He had nowhere to go. There were cars in front of him. There were cars behind him. I just think that that gentleman died senselessly.
Now it appears prosecutors agree. Officer Meade's Seattle attorney confirms with King 5 that a motion to file second-degree murder charges was made last week. They have argued that Officer Meade fired his gun to protect himself because Meservey was using his vehicle as a weapon. 6 months ago, Niles Meservey's daughter also filed a civil suit against the city of Everett and made this statement.
I know that there is nothing that I can do to bring him back. And I think that the best way that I can honor his memory is to find out the truth about why he was killed.
Now, prosecutors aren't saying much until a pre-trial hearing set for Thursday here at the courthouse. This is, by the way, the first time a Snohomish County police officer has been charged criminally for a shooting in the line of duty. Live in Everett, North Bureau Chief Jake Wittenberg, King 5 News.
All rise. Snohomish County Superior Court is now in session. The Honorable Gerald L. Knight presiding.
At the Snohomish County Courthouse on Thursday, Superior Court Judge Gerald Knight heard pretrial motions in the case of Everett police officer Troy Meade. Meade is charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter in the June 10th shooting death of Niles Meservey. Prosecutors allege Meade broke the law when he shot Messervy 7 times from behind. The Stanwood man was drunk and sitting in a Corvette outside an Everett restaurant. Meade opened fire after Messervy drove into a fence. Before that happened, the officer had twice used an electric stun gun on Messervy, but the man had not surrendered. Deputy prosecutors John Adcock and Matthew Baldock in October charged Meade with first-degree manslaughter. On Thursday, they filed the more serious second-degree murder charge. They allege Meade demonstrated intent to kill when he repeatedly shot Messervy. Defense attorney David Allen of Seattle asked the court for more time to raise arguments against allowing the murder charge. According to court papers, Meade will argue that he acted in self-defense. Judge Knight on Thursday ruled on what evidence he'll allow at Meade's trial. Meade is the first police officer in Snohomish County history to face criminal charges for a line-of-duty shooting. Jury selection is set to begin April 13th.
You understand you're under arrest? Go ahead. In there. Go. Okay. Get on your back. On your back. On your stomach. Get on your stomach. Give it to him again. No. Okay.